Right. I think everything's working. Yes. Right. I almost didn't start streaming. I almost cancelled stream today. I've spent way too much time trying to figure out this freaking sleeve, and then I thought 2 hours before the stream, so let's go back to basics and actually look at the bodice fitting, and realize there's some issues with the bodice fitting as well. So it may not be a long stream today. I am going to try and figure out some of the changes that I want to make on the bodice. That's why I kind of am wearing this combination of things, because that's what I will be wearing underneath. I'm absolutely boiling hot because it's quite warm here. But I have some changes to make to the back. I have some changes to make to the front. Good evening, JR. And we'll go through trying to amend those on the pattern, make new pieces, and then put them in, and then see what we can figure out if I'm going to be able to make the changes. And I've just realized as well, I don't think I grabbed enough. Oh well, I'll have to just change one side and not the other, because I know I picked up enough muslin for the 2 pattern pieces that I need to change, but I'm not sure if I have enough to change both sides. So we'll see. It's going to be slightly chaotic because yeah, frustration with commercial sewing patterns, I guess, because they're just not good. I really need to learn how to draft a pattern block from my own measurements. Because I do change, my body does change as well, and I can make one for wearing this combination of undergarments, and then I can make one for, normal body measurements. So we will see. And then once I've amended the bodice, if I can check, because I also did like the extra bit so that the armhole becomes slightly higher, because I do think that's one of the other issues. I might go through and learn how to draft a single pattern sleeve from my own measurements, and see if I can add that to this bodice and see if that works. But I wanted to have one drawn and ready before the stream, and I just don't. So we're going to do the bodice changes. So one of the things I noticed when I was wearing the mock-up, so if you have a thing on this shirt, there's a seam here on your shoulder. Now that seam should be, if you look on the bottom of your shoulder, should be in the middle of your shoulder. Unless it's like a change of a bodice. But it should be like kind of in the middle. And on the pattern, it was actually quite behind me. So that changes the way the bodice fits. So I made a change to the front of the bodice so that this line goes in the middle of my shoulder, like where it is, where the little bone sits. And then I also realized the back, there was some gaping there. So this top, it's one of the reasons I'm wearing a shirt, because it has the same sort of sleeves, because it doesn't have what you call it? T-shirt isn't stretchy, so this is not a stretchy fabric. So that's kind of why I'm wearing this one, because it's a good example. So I can move my arm up and down, and I couldn't do that in. Now one of the things you can see is how close this seam here is to my upper arm, and the fact is that if the seam is here, you actually have less movement, which is, when you think about it, that might be like, that's weird. But no, it's like this armhole seam here should be quite high up for you to have all the movement. Another problem that you often see is that this part, so from the bone here to where your bicep actually starts, which is like in your armpits around, that distance is often too long. So what it does is it kind of makes it even worse. And so those are the things that I know I need to change. But there was just fitting issues. and it's too warm to leave this. So those are the issues that I want to fix first on the bodice, so that the bodice fits me properly, and then we can start looking at, have I upped the inner arm enough for me to get this movement that I need? So I really just need to learn how to bodice draft, because I have never learned that. I always say I'm a seamstress because I can sew. I'm not a designer, I'm not a pattern maker. I never did that. I usually just amended patterns, and that's why I liked working with stretch fabrics, because there's so much more leeway. Because, you know, stretch. So that's one of the things we're going to do today. But yeah, I almost cancelled because I was so frustrated. Let's start on this, and then once we've done this, fitted it in, and see if it fits. Then I'm just going to go and stop the stream, and then next week I'm going to spend more time again on getting a sleeve pattern drafted based on my measurements and based on the bodice. So there's a combination of things that you can do. So, right. So, to show on the bodice, ooh, good catch. So, on the front of the pattern, so here's the sleeve, and that was quite behind. So you can see here, I pinched the fabric so that the seam went back into the middle. So this is something that I need to do as an amendment. So I'm gonna strip out, and then on the back there was a gap. Now this is the middle seam. That was quite okay, so that was in the right spot. So I need to make the amendment to the back. So this is the amount of fabric that I need to take in, and it's just this one little piece that I need to amend. So I'm going to have to take it apart. I'm going to have to seam rip, and then we can see how we can amend it on the pattern. It's always a problem with my left and right hand. I really need to sit with longer stitch lengths, because it's no use on the mock-up. You don't need short stitches. So how's everybody been doing? Hope your day was less frustrating than mine. Although I took an intermission, so I know, you know, I have two of these, and I had an idea. So this one is a 57, which is actually a bit too big for me. I'm 54 centimeters, so this one's quite wide on me. But I have another one that's 55 centimeters, and I started taking it apart so that I can take the parts and make patterns out of it, and then I can change it and make it into something else. So but yeah, I need to get back into all my clothing alterations that I used to do. I want to go back to thrifting and finding some cool stuff. And right, here we go. this middle seam. Orc Pirates. What's LPA? LPA forms. Probably something very UK-ish. Oh! Go away! That shouldn't even be showing. It should have deleted that. It's not just timed out. Ah, yes. Can I not? Why can I not delete this message? God damn it. Oh, the message is deleted. That's why I can't delete it. Okay. Yeah. Oh, did I do the wrong one? Yes, I did the wrong one. Yeah, that's a smart idea. This is one of the reasons why I've been sorting out a lot of stuff, and I'm literally selling off things that I've had since the 90s, like CDs and stuff that I just don't listen to, and I'm wondering why the hell am I keeping this? When my mum died, I was the one clearing her stuff out. But I don't have kids. So I need to really organize something that, because I own this place, so there will be money when I die. I need to organize that. So it's a sobering subject, but it's an important subject, because one of the things I do get as someone that works for a bank, I get how you call them? In French, it's succession vacante. So these are, funny enough, they're usually cases where there's debt in the person that died has debt. But I mean that they passed away, and there are no known heirs. And there are heirs because I've got a niece, I've got a brother. But it's sometimes an attorney is then the one that empties out the apartment, that, you know, looks at the bills, looks at the money that there is. Because what they're doing is like, hey, did this person have a bank account with you? Because there's probably bills that need to be paid, including the lawyer. So I really need to set this up so that I have, if something happened to me in the future, that, you know, stuff is sorted. But I also don't want someone to have my craft room is always going to be a problem for whoever is going to clear out after me. But the other rest of the stuff that I have needs to really. But Orc Pirates look that's just cool. Then again, I just like pirates. I have a whole pirate outfit I can do. So when one of my company's the company parties were like pirate themed, I was like, hell yes, I got it. They are so good. Ah, the captain's hat. Yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah. I must say, all this sewing has got me back into a sewing mood. Then again, I need to get back into my pre-COVID fitness. I'm not talking about weight. My weight's the same. My fitness is terrible because I'm not walking to work, or not walking the 15 minutes from the train station to work. So 4 times a week. I just need to get my ass into gear and get shit done. Those heads look really cool. You need to give him a parrot. You need to get a parrot. You need to give one of the orcs a parrot. Or a parrot goblin. Parrot squig. Right. Let's see. I hate doing this. I need to really learn how to make bodice blocks myself. I really do. These commercial patterns are just so shit. And I can sell all my commercial patterns. Yeah. Have they changed up your medication since you had the last episode? Right. This is the first one. I also got my pattern drafting things out. I can put that back because I've got straight lines. There you go. So one of the things I did might not make it as high, but I think really need it. I do think that's about right. So we made the arm side higher. I actually think oh my god, that's... But 10 hours is long as well. I mean, that's an insane long time for a photo shoot. Still have to make other changes to this, but let's try this for now. Yeah. Right. I have no idea how I'm going to do this, but Right, so this is the original line. So if I make a cut here, yeah, but that's usually the dangerous part. So let's make a cut here. How am I gonna do this? Where's my pincushion? So not sure if this is gonna work, because that's gonna change a lot in this place. Oh, this is why I thought like cancelling stream, because this is me having to think so much about how am I going to do this. Right. So how can I change this? I've done the full bicep one, that's fine. I need to know how to cut out. Hang on, I think. Hey, Henrik! I have. Where did I put it? I have a book about this. Where did I put you? There it is. I'm pretty sure it said something about this. Right. Ooh. Right. When I first started working with this, 5056. Yeah, lengthening and shortening is not difficult. That's for the shoulder. But there's no bust point. Dots up and down, increasing and decreasing. Not what I'm looking for. There's no bust dot. And that's just about sleeves. Fucking hell. This is where I was looking at making bodice blocks based on your own measurements, because they're like, oh, use a dress form. It's like, no dress form fits is my size, so not gonna happen. So this is what I noticed when I was looking at shoulders, and how I noticed that the shoulder here was too much. It was there, so. Ah. That still doesn't make 100% sense. Because again, that's a bodice dot that I don't have. Yeah, the bust dots. And I don't have a bust dot on this. So this is the page I was looking at before. It's like, it shows all the different artists. So if you got an ad, I apologize. If you don't, then yay. Because like we don't have an elbow dot because this was a two-piece sleeve, and a two-piece sleeve doesn't have a dot. But yeah, it doesn't really show what I want to do. God dang it! But it's like, it talks about making bodices. But nowhere does it show you how you can change the arm size. Oh, hang on. This does it. Nah, don't want a puff sleeve. God damn it. Why don't you show me how to make the change in the arm size? Damn it. See, I should have read this about the V-neck facings. Okay. That was useless. So how am I going to leave this in place but still reduce the arm size here? Because that's what was the problem. Because somewhere this needs to still be straight. Because if I do manipulate it with paper, to reduce this, it reduces that as well. And I only need it to be reduced here and not there. Because that will change the whole pattern. Oh, this is doing my end. This is why I wasn't doing this. I thought about not streaming. Because it's quite a lot that I have to take out otherwise. But even that would help, I guess. The problem then is, again, this changes shoulder. Or the whole pattern, because then the shoulder's here. I don't know how to solve this. So even if I take half out, like there, changes where the sleeve sits. Or maybe just redraw that straight. Then again, it needs to be less like this because it needed to be more forward. Let's try this because I don't know, but it's half of what I think it should. Hang on, where's my... Yeah, so put it on 3. There. No idea if this is gonna work. And if not, then I am going completely back to the drawing board. I mean, it's on par, isn't it, for the amount of changes that I do per item. Oh, what the fuck is this music? Right, let's try that. Whether I made that change correctly or not, I have no idea. I really have no idea. Let's put it on its back as well so it doesn't move. We will see. But yeah. And shall we make the changes that we've drawn on as well on this? Where is it? There. First of all, hey, come give me. Yeah, because I need this one. Okay, just drawing in the centimeter and a half. Yeah, so that's right. So Ah, I need to let out those nutcrackers, otherwise it's not going to make sense. I have to take out, I don't know where to cut here, maybe like that. Something like that. We can make more changes if we need to. Yeah. Yeah, that works. Okay. Right, so other change we needed to make is one on the back. Right, put that aside. And it's the smallest of the small. It's number 4. Here we go. You can go there. You can go there. Right, so let's take it apart. But here it is. So this is the middle seam. That was in the right spot, so don't want to change that. So I need to take in some of the fabric that's on the this little panel here, because the rest did fit. You'll see now, I'll put it back together and it just doesn't fit at all. We will see. If it does that, I give up. So, first things first, I need to mark how much I want to take in. It's this, isn't it? Yeah, okay, so let me unpin it. Right. I never know why I can't do this with this. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. There we go. Ah, come on. You. See, sometimes it just doesn't want to do it. Come on. It's the only problem when you're doing this unpicking. So many little pieces. You have to remove them, otherwise when you go stitching again it's gonna be a mess. Right. Okay. This is the little piece I need. Uh-oh. Excuse me. Okay. Alright. There's that little piece. Whatever. So so have I cut this wrong? Or have I cut something off? Because I seem to have cut something off. Okay, so it's this. No, that's not what I meant to do. I should do this. Can I? Where's my eraser? Is it somewhere? Yep. Oh no! Look, that's the piece I put on. Okay. To up the. Okay. Right. I need to move this way, so if I put this there, that there, it's almost a straight line. It is. pretty much. Another thing that I did was that I need to redo that, but that's fine. So one of the things I need to do here was the seam allowance in. Did I do it wrong again? No, I did it this way, didn't I? Yeah. Okay, because that's the seam allowance. Okay. So now oh yes, and I just realised I didn't add, so I need seam allowance there. Cut that off without seam allowance. I'm an idiot. Now, also, this side changed, so I need to make sure that that lines up again with this one, or that one, not this one, that's the back. Where were those markings? So they need to go there. So, am I going to add in here or not? How am I going to solve that? So maybe choose this. It's not a lot of difference. So if I what's a centimetre and a half? It's here. How am I solving that one? Damn it. Can I? Actually, that should still fit. So I just... Yeah, let's do that. Let's just puzzle that one. Why not? Right. Can I use this and just recut it? No, because I need it to add. So. Okay. Alright, let's try this. Right, make sure I'm marked on it so I know which one it is. Alright. Right, drink. That's number 4. You got there. Oh, excuse me. Just trying to find the right piece to cut this off. The most efficient way, I think that would be. I can immediately test out if these dots still work. Right. So I made the armhole adjustments, the front bit adjustment. Oh god, why did you choose just to move? I really should just stick them down, shouldn't I? Instead of thinking that I could draw this without moving the pattern. Right, points. 1, 2, Claire. And there's a point here. And that's here. And that's there. I think those are all the markings, right? Let's move you aside. And draw those lines. All right. Okay. Right, so we made the adjustments to the armhole, we made the adjustments to the front of the shoulder, we made the adjustments to the side piece. If we put it all together, hopefully it actually fits. If not, I'm going to throw a tantrum and start again. Okay. Now, just making sure I do this the right way around, because this is the way it needs to be, so I need to sew it that way around. Okay. Okay. Did I get it on the other point? Don't think so. I should have drawn them on the other side. Hang on. Alright. Come on. Missed. Okay. Okay. Better turn my sewing machine on. That will help. Why Take that one up, measure. Let's start with that one. Whoa! Almost. So, those are the dots at the front. Let's put the other one in. Right, so that's done. Now let's put it back into. I need to put number 4 in first. Right, so. Going to be interesting trying to fit this back in. Where's the piece gone? Okay. So this one goes that way. Is this the right way around? Oh, I'm doubting myself again. Where's the piece? No, it's the wrong way around. Mm-hmm. No. Alright. Beltane! We're having a frustrating day today. Ooh. No idea if this is gonna work, but gonna try. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Is like people are like, oh, so I always say I'm a seamstress because I can sew. Doesn't mean I can make patterns, and that's the frustrating part of sewing. Nobody's body fits the standard sizing, so it's so frustrating when you're like trying to figure out something. Oh. So yeah, but let's see if this changes. I'm not doing the sleeve. I had to stop with trying to figure out the sleeve until I figure out and make the. Yeah, exactly. So, and something else here is like this doesn't work. Really. So if I do you there. Okay, let me change that. It's just, yeah. But also like the standard sizing on sewing patterns is even worse. And apparently the big four sewing pattern companies gone bankrupt, so that's yeah. I guess. So if I change you to go slightly this way. God damn it. And I know I don't have a standard body, but still. Make a change a little bit more. Can I move you to go on here? Is that centimetre and a half? I think so. Yeah, so that's a good idea. So if you go to there, so it seamlessly goes into there. Let's try that. Now I just realized, like, with all the things I was looking at with the sleeve, I just realized the bodice didn't fit me properly, so I'd like, right, make the bodice changes first before I start thinking about the sleeve again. Oh yeah, absolutely. But they also all have to be a certain size. They're all like, yeah, you have to be this skinny. So something's still not right, because no, that shouldn't be that way. But we'll fix that later on. And so let's see if I changed. I've also cut off this. Oh yeah. Does this fit there? Yes, it does. Incredibly, it does. Yeah, I find it amazing as well, like how some of these girls have no shape. So And I feel bad because I don't think people should be, you know. Alright, so right. Oh, oh. Now. Yeah, so there's a, you can kind of see here, there's a corner on this side that I need to figure out. I need to make it smooth like the other side. Actually, I can think of something. If I put you this way. Yeah, we'll figure that out. No worries. And now see if we can fit the shoulder still on. Right. Right, so we need to make that change there, but let's see if it fits better. Ooh. So, first things first, there will be buttons. Let's pretend there are buttons. So that is the corrected arm. Like I said, we need to fix that bit there, but that fits. The shoulder seam is on top now. That fits a lot better compared to this one. You can see the back bit that's sticking out. Oh, there's an outbreak. I'll wait. In case people are in an outbreak. Gives me time to have a drink. I know you're here, JR. But that really does look a lot better. You can see even on the shoulders. If I sit straight in the camera. This way. This camera just doing a head in. Which way? So that worked. I'm very happy about the front one. Right, everybody's back. Right. So, if I stand up, so this is the armpit I did. So you can see still there's a small thing there to fix. There's still a little bit, but especially at the front. Now this shoulder seam is still a bit to the back, but let's move the seam in. And you can see now it fits, it's almost on the top of my shoulder. It's probably because I'm actually not standing straight. So now I'm standing straight, this seam here is on the top of my shoulder, where it's supposed to be. And there's a little bit of bunching there, but compare it to here, where I have like a whole, whole bit here that's like hanging out. And then on the back, you can see there, I have like a whole flap of fabric there. If you compare that to the other side, shoulders back. It's very difficult to do adjustments on yourself because like you're trying to move the fabric, but then of course you're moving the rest. I'm quite happy with the adjustments that I made. Now you can't see the front, but I think those adjustments are fine as well. Because there's going to be buttons here. Got a bit of space here. Doing good. Yes, exactly. Or a mannequin that's my size, but there's no mannequins my size. None of them are that my size. But I do think there's a little bit pull here, but I don't think for a shirt. I think that might be the bust dot that's slightly changed. Hang on, let me check. Bust dot there. Yeah. There's still a little. Oh no, here we go. I'm pulling in the back properly. Compared to that side. So you can see here, there's quite a lot of space underneath. And here, there's a lot less space underneath. I still have to redo that side. But, a lot better. That's a lot better. Everybody see my old tattoo. So let's fix that part. Yep. Let's not put them in the bin. Right, so. Oh. Put you away for that. So, let's have a look-see. So, so that's the new one. That one. this is that one. Oh, that's the colour. The hell? That's the number 4. Right. Right, so this needs to be like a proper curve. Right. So that needs to be amended still. It's one of the things I was looking at. Was like, might as well just put it together and then figure out if it works. So I might have to. Throwing some wallpaper on the floor. So, hang on a sec. I need to draw in the. I always lose everything. Seam allowance. So it gives me a better idea where I actually look. Because this is not where the edge is going to be. The edge is going to be a little bit lower. So actually I might feel like I could up. So that's kinda what we need. I should actually be doing that, don't I? So it gives me a better idea of where. Because when you make a mock-up, officially you don't use what if I think it's in this one. Because I still think if I sew this, it took me a right still. Right. Okay, I have a feeling there's still something that could be taken out here. Okay. Right, let's try that. Just making sure the needles stay in so I don't fucking do it myself. Let's see if that back side's. There. Turn. Right, let's see. Yeah, that works. Because that's the difference. And that's a lot lower as well. So hopefully that will improve. I still think I can go higher. That's still a bit of a square there. Needs to run here something. I'll have to figure that one out. But quite happy with that. Okay, so we do have to redraw that. I could use this sleeve as an example. Oh, sometimes I wonder who the fuck is curating the metal lift. Right, so yeah, it's still a corner instead of a curve. But I don't think. How do I fix that? And then I have to figure out how to make a new sleeve, which I am not going to do today. Because that means I'll be very quiet for a long time because I will be just trying to figure out shit. Right, let's. I'm thinking now is I probably should have, instead of just cutting it off, I should have probably slashed and moved it, because then you keep the sides the same. Oh shoot. Blasted sneezing. Okay, right, so okay. Now the question is, can I find the piece that I cut off? I do usually put these things aside, just in case. Is it this one? No. That's the bottom piece. Did I accidentally throw it away? Ah, that could happen. Wouldn't surprise me with myself. Is it this one? No, it's this one. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. So, instead of cutting it off, where's my tape gone? Let's put the point on and measure how much have I taken off. Two and a bit. So let's say 2. Let's find a place where it's 2. About there. And what if I move you from that point to there? I think. Oh, look at that! That becomes a curve. Ha ha! I think I figured it out. I think that's better. Ha ha! Ha 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 ha! So you move. Yeah, that's it. Right, I think that's for the reminder. Don't cut off, slash, and move. Oh, come back. Yeah. Should have made a smaller piece. Gosh, dang it. Go sit there. That'll do. Okay. Yeah. Let's make that and right. I think valuable lesson. I think that would be perfect. Get this one off as well. Come on. Ah, come on. Get off. I want to try this new piece. Right. Let's try this new piece. Okay. Should fit on here. Will you even fit on there? Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Make use of the smallest piece. Okay, put the markings on the inside. I'll make clear which one it is. Yoink. Oh, there's an ad starting in 30 seconds. Just be aware. I need to have that. I've seen some people with the little timer that shows up when it says there's going to be an ad. Alright. Trying to throw something over my shoulder. That didn't work. Ah! Can never break my brain which way around. I always have to do it. This way goes here. Because then when it opens, it goes that way. Yes. Okay, that's one side, and then the other side. Ooh. Let's put that one in first. Alright. Ah. Right. Alright, so pinned in. This is not right. Give me a sec. Let's just... I know this one is fine. something weird with this corner. It's just frustrating me. And 4. Okay, I think this pattern needs redrawing. Because there needs to be like a proper flap, and that's not a proper flap. So I think I've cut it off, that's why. Yeah, that's the problem. Okay. So that should end. Oh no, hang on. You need to go higher up. Okay. Helps if I cut the pattern properly. Okay, so that should go on that point there. So now it makes... Yes, okay. Now it makes sense. Alright, okay. Let's put that side in. And if that means that's okay, then we can start doing the measurements and start trying to make a sleeve. Maybe make a single sleeve instead of a 2-part sleeve. So we're making it into a shirt more than a jacket. Right, let's see if this works. Visual inspection. Oh, see? There's no corner now, it's actually a proper curve. So there's not, before it was like, I do think that's going to work. Get my arms in. Right. So, seam allowance, button, seam allowance, button, somewhere over there. Okay. I think we did it. Let's see. Put the shirt on properly. Ta-da! A proper sleeve. Hole, armhole, scythe hole thingy. If you compare this side to that side, we've made the sleeve smaller arm side. We put so the seam here is where my shoulder is, because on this side the seam is there instead of there where it should be. It fits. So I need to adjust the back still because I've cut off the front bit. So if I stand up straight, you can see the difference in fit. Especially here, like it's all bunchy and. Now, of course, I made myself quite flat-chested with a sports bra and a binder. But especially the back, where you can see like that gap there. That's not. Focus, camera! It's still there, but it's not as bad. So now I need to figure out how to make a sleeve based on this arm scythe. And I do think, compared to that one, you can see, actually when I lift my arm, you can see how much of a difference it is. How much you can see just there. How much it's like loose. If you compare it to that, it's still loose, but you know, I need to be able to move my arm, because if you move my arm backwards, you can see it fits properly. Compared to this mess. A positive. I mean, I need some space here. I mean, like, I need to be able to like move. But if you see that compared to that, and if I put my arm forward or backwards, sorry, my shoulder backward, you can see that compared to that. Yay! We made the right adjustments. Took a while, but we're there. Yeah, probably. I mean, all these pieces, maybe not the bottom, where it's like all the changes, again, the little butt flap that it's got. But I can make a straight bodice piece out of this. So I can grab the front piece and just make the bottom straight and have a basic bodice that fits me with this configuration of undergarments. So I might have to. Now, of course, this has the back has panels. So if I look at the back, so there's two panels on the back. So you can see the center seam. You can see a seam here and a seam over there that starts on my shoulder. So, and then you've got the side seam. This is the side seam. So the side seam should be exactly underneath my arm. So this is like a very fitted bodice, and it's kind of a jacket style thing. But I wanted to keep it this way, because normally you have one piece like this, and then a back piece that's slightly different because your back is longer than your front, because, you know, here you measure the front line from here and your back line from your back. But if you think about the Ship Mrs. Browns that I want to do, and I will also want to wear the same undergarment configuration because she's quite flat chested. Then, because you can see how this is not my normal silhouette. I'll shift that this way, right? Because normally I'm a lot more chesty. But with the sports bra and the binder combination, I have kind of slimmed down to a not visible bust. Ship Mrs. Brown doesn't have a visible bust, and neither has she. Because male artists either seem to make women flat-chested or extremely chested. So they're very rarely a proportion. But I'll probably, what I'll do is get the cardboard, the cardboard that I normally use for patterning, and make a standard pattern out of this. And make it straight, probably. So, I'll probably do the same thing with the other pieces, so make sure that they're all just at a straight line, and then I can always change the bottom based upon whatever project I'm working on. So now with this, so we can do measurements from. I put my shoulder. Right, check it. Yeah. So now from, where's the side that I did? This is the side. So from this, I can take a couple of measurements that I need. Now I know a couple of my own measurements. So I'm gonna measure from the top of my shoulder to where the bicep starts. So which is where your underarm starts. That's a measurement. The size of my bicep, and then of course the size from my shoulder to my elbow, and then my shoulder to my wrist for the length. Because I've got long arms, and this is why I usually, any shirts that I have, I roll them up because, for some reason, that's the length of the shirt on me. It's like I'm missing a bit of a bit of length there. So yeah, the burn is healing. So this is my problem. I've got longer arms than most things, so I need to make sure that that's correct. So that's why this shirt is fine, because I can actually roll this up. I have the same problem with trousers. I've got long legs, and my torso is normal, so yeah, I have to have 34-inch long leg length in any of my jeans or any trousers. Try buying jogging pants. They're all like weirdly just above my ankle, and it just looks odd. I like my stuff to be long. So, but there's measurements that we take from this. So there's a measurement, so you can see if I put this flat. So this line is the front line, and this is the back line, and they're different. So when you draw normally I've got a drawing here, don't I? Yes, I did. Normally, if you have a one-piece sleeve, it's like this. And one side is slightly different, well, one side slightly more curved than the other side. So the front is always a bit more curved than the back. So that's why front and back of a sleeve is very important, because if you put them the wrong way around, they don't fit. Ask how I know. So, but based on there's a length here that I need to look at, and there's a length here that I need to look at. Then there's the length from my shoulder bone to where my bicep starts, and the size of my bicep, and size of my wrist, of course, and then the length of my arm. And from that, we could draw one of these. At least I have watched quite a few videos on how to do that. So, what I'll prepare for next week is a pattern based on those measurements, and then I can show you how I do it, because I might have to throw away some of the stuff that I'm drawing because I have to test it out, and then we can make a sleeve and see if it fits. Because I think a single sleeve might be easier, because if you look at the sleeve for the artillery ridge, there's this weird patterning here. Now, what I'm thinking of doing, because there's one here and there's one lower, just above the elbow, it's like there. What I'm thinking of doing is having a dark grey cotton lining, and then just slash. So the fabric that I'm going to do here is having slashes, and then having just the lining underneath showing. And instead of I don't want them to be puffy because they don't look puffy, but that might be something that I can figure out how to do that. So on the sleeve, like when you have this, that's the sleeve. There's a lot of decoration on it as well, and I have to do that before I put the sleeve together. So all the decoration I have to do before I put these two sides together and take it in. Because, there's like lines like this, and then what we draw. Where's that sleeve where I drew on? Here it is. So that detailing that's on the bottom of the sleeve, I need to sew that on before I put the sleeve together. And it's like here I've drawn that there's like this part. Now, could it be otherwise just some weirdly diagonally drawn things? I have to think about how I'm going to do that. But I will have to I have to sew on all the decoration before I put the sleeve together, because doing it while the sleeve is together is a pain. But when the sleeve is flat, of course, you can put any decoration on. So I was thinking of like just making from here to there, just making diagonal slashes. And just have the cotton underneath showing. Because that's the only thing I can think of that's how it looks. And then the same thing here. I will have to have a research, but I couldn't find anything that looked anything remotely like what he's drawn. Again, the problem. So again, I have to do this before I put the sleeve together. So, and then I have to think about, do I want any decoration on the shirt, the rest of the shirt as well? Because if there's decoration on the arms, there should be decoration on the shirt as well. But again, we'll probably leave the decoration till we put everything almost together. So, because I still haven't decided how I want to do that. Whether I'm going to use something fabricated myself, or finding soutache braid, or because that's quite difficult, or some cotton, like it's like lace, but it's laces, like shoelaces, but they're cord, and I have to figure out how I'm going to attach everything, because the skirt's got all that detailing as well, and the cape. So I have to think about that, how I'm going to do that. So, but that's some of those things. But once we have the mock-up ready, in principle, we're done. Then you know, once we get to the real fabric, like I have the pattern for the skirt already because it's just a basic 1/3 circle skirt, so that's very easily done. And the cape and the big cape and the little cape, like the long cape and the short cape, I've done them as well. So the longer cape is a 1/3 circle skirt, and the shorter cape is a 1/4 circle skirt with changes. And then it has all that frogging and detailing on it. But I think it'd be easiest if I start doing all the detailing at the same time, because I think that's once you start getting into that process of doing the detailing, again, it's like with everything. The more you do it, the easier it gets. So it'd be easier to do everything in one go, get that practice out, and then go just spend the hours doing it. So yeah, we need to have I need to have a look into that. And then we still have to make the Edwardian ruff thing as well. And that's all the sewing that we need to do. Then we can go back to but the shoes. We need to do the shoes. So except I need to get the fabric and stuff for the ruff still. I need to figure out what configuration I want to do it in. I've got some black horse braid, so that keeps the shaping going. Got some lace that I quite like that I need to buy. I need to figure out how many meters I need, because that's quite a lot of meters. So but yeah, so we kind of come to an end at the moment. Because we made a change that we needed to make, and the rest we need to do next week. And there's no way I'm going to be able to make a sleeve pattern in like 15-20 minutes. So a little bit shorter, but not as short as I expected it to be, because we still had some changes made. But I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy that way it worked out. That the changes that we made sure that it's not gapping. The only thing we don't know yet if I made the sleeve high enough to not give me problems. Well, you never know these days with the fashion industry. It's been interesting. I don't think ruffs will come back. But Edwardian, so you've got coats with that like a shorter cape around, like the Edwardian coats. I made one before. I'll show you next time on stream. Probably I'll bring it out of the closet. So you know there are things that we can think about. So let's have a look if I can raid someone. Channel raid. Anybody I follow? Oh, there's quite a lot of people. Going Ape. I quite like going to her. The Sims 4, no, that's not. So there's one person doing cosplay, so I might be. Let's see if we can find somebody else, same category, and somebody's doing the K-pop Demon Hunters. That's fun. I'm very tempted. But no, we're gonna be good. We're gonna be good. I'm not gonna start a new one. But I want to go thrifting again and then just amend the clothing that I get. So, but that's one of those things. Doesn't look like anybody else is doing cosplay. Well, one of the things I did was I had a big of a cleanup, and I found my box of cosplay special effects stuff, including contact lenses. Most of them are out of date now. But I found my dragon ones, so the vertical splits. The problem with them is every time you blink, so your contact lenses doesn't stay in place. They kind of move every time you blink. So the vertical things, every time you blink, the eye slits move. So you can literally like take it, put them straight, keep your eyes open, take a photo, and then just alright. I have my black ones. I love my black ones, but I have a feeling that I should really get some new ones. So yeah, I think we're just gonna be easy, and just throw you all over to Going Ape, the Becky. She's almost got the she's putting all the butterflies. No, she's making an OC butterfly one. But she's putting all the wings on. That's the word I was looking for. All the wings. The coloured ones? I mean, for me, they're just the same. I mean, I just buy them prescription-wise. And they're not that different. There's a hole in it. Don't worry, you can see through them. The black ones I have are dull ones, so they make my eyes bigger. So they're like slightly bigger than my eyes, so like the mini sclera. But you could just see through them. That's not an issue. I had to laugh once when I still had a partner. So he came home one day, and I had put them in because I just got them, and I was just sitting behind my computer. And he came upstairs and was like, "Hey, how are you doing?" Blah, blah, blah. And then I turned around and he was like, "Wah!" Yeah, but the contact lenses are prescription ones, because I have glasses. I wear contacts now. I'm -5.5, so you can get black contact lenses that are -5.5. So you can go up to -8 these days. There was a long time where they couldn't go that low. For a long time, I think -3 was the maximum they could do. But no. You got them with. I'm looking at some red ones at the moment for an idea that I have, and they're about €28, so similar in pounds. But they're -5.5, so I can see through them. They're not perfect because I have astigmatism and a prism as well, so my contact lenses are not perfect. But yeah, I'm pretty blind. Yes, there's some that are zeros, so no power. And yeah, I wouldn't be able to wear them either. Yeah, you should be fine. Yeah, you can just get colored contact lenses with -2.75. Not a problem. So yep, they're looking at food, so might be a good time to start raiding. So yeah, we are going to raid Becky from Going Ape Costume. She's working on a really cool project, and she's finished the wings, and she's going to do the rest now. So I still haven't got a raid thingy. I need to make one. I need to do so many things still. I need to finish my Discord and everything. But I've been really, really busy with all kinds of other stuff. I have a big update coming for. Has a big update happened on my app, and I need to just inform all the authors of it. So I need to do all the marketing for that as well. So yes, it's been one of those. It's been one of those weeks. I need to do all those things. Anyways, I will see you all Saturday. On Saturday, we'll continue with the gloves, the project gloves. We're pretty happy with that as well. We're getting somewhere. We just need to make a few amendments. That's not a problem. And I will see you all on Saturday.